Hello and welcome to another exciting week of Model Horse Judging Clinic. This will be a fun one. I have chosen to do European/United Kingdom drafts Peter Stone original finish horses this week. We'll have a few interesting and unique things to talk about because, as we remember in Halter, we are judging first on correctness of anatomy, biomechanics, and conformation, second on breed standards, including color, third on overall appearance, finish, condition, and workmanship, and finally on the judge's overall impression. So, as you can see with this class of drafters, we only have two molds to judge. We have the standing and the trotting Peter Stone drafters. Both were sculpted by Kitty Cantrell, the stander in 1996 and the trotter in 1998. And guess what? She is an excellent artist who does a wonderful job in her models. And so all of them are very correct in their ABCs. I pretty much can't tell these horses apart because they are the same model. So they have good skeletal structure, good musculature, good appearance. They are put together very well, so I can kind of chuck that out the window and move on to the next items to judge on, which are breed standards, including color and overall appearance. I have chosen to pedigree these horses. The front trotting drafter is a Shire. The second standing chestnut drafter is a Percheron. The third cream white trotter is I apologize for the pronunciation, Poitevin Moulassier. And the final standing drafter spotted is a Noriker. So that is what I'm going to hinge a lot of my judging comments on because that is the biggest difference between these horses. As a judge, that's one of the things that we are obligated to do is to apply the judging criteria in as hopefully objective a manner as we can to the horses that are on the table and to what the entrants have chosen to provide us with information about these horses. So in this class, my first place horse is pretty clearly the trotting Shire. Again, can't say too much, very correct in the anatomy. So we have to look at the breed, and the Shire breed is considered to be tall with moderate feathering, generally dark colors. Shires are generally blacks, bays, and grays with low white and moderate feathering. He suits his breed almost perfectly. You can see the alertness, you can see the pulling capability, suits almost all the breed standards. His minor knockdowns are his hoof stripes, mostly judge's impression kind of stuff. His hoof stripes aren't applied as well, and his white pattern isn't painted as well as the other horses. It's just kind of white over the dark without as much shading as I'd like to see. But those are just judge's impression overall kind of things. They don't have anything to do with his breed standards and correctness. So he is a pretty clear first place horse. Now my second place horse is this chestnut Percheron. The Percheron usually come in gray, bay, and black with a little white. However, they are found in chestnut. He has a nice deep chest. He has a wide croup. He is long and level. He meets his breed standards fairly well. Straight profile, broad forehead, clean-legged. That is one of the determinants of what breed you're going to pedigree these horses as, is the amount of feathering. And so he's nice and clean-legged, proud and alert. He doesn't have a huge number of faults, but that breed standard, including color, kind of knocks him down a bit. They definitely prefer grays and blacks in this breed. Chestnuts are available, but they're not as sought after as the other colors. In addition, I find him just a trifle long and narrow for that breed. Depending on the amount of documentation that the entrant put down, there are Percherons that look like this, but I would definitely want to see a little bit backing him up because kind of the generic Percheron that you see in pictures and on the breed cover is a little wider, a little more musculature horse. So very good, but just not quite as accurate as the first place Shire. Now my third place horse is also pretty close. I could probably swap second and third places, again depending on what kind of documentation the entrant put down. The Stone website calls this a cream Shire. He is a model horse that is painted, so I can't get into the genotype and phenotype of the horse, but I kind of question what color he is. He's got chestnut hooves, but he's got dark on his face and eyes. A single cream gene usually will produce something along the lines of a Palomino, and a double cream gene, a homozygous cream, will definitely pale out and give him maybe a blue eye or pale out the face. So we'll just call him a white horse. And so I chose to pedigree him as a Poitevin Moulassier horse. These guys have large hooves. They are feathered, so he is accurate that way. They come in many colors, which is kind of one of the reasons that I picked this breed for him, because the indeterminate color suits his breed fine. They are slender with longer bodies, so he's fairly accurate to that breed. However, one of the call-outs for that breed is they want them to have a very long and thick mane and tail, and he is definitely in show cut. So perhaps if you could give me some documentation of what one of those guys, because normally you can barely even see their eyes through their mane and their forelock, if you could give me some documentation that that horse could clean up and look like this guy, I might mark him up a little higher. But in the meantime, he's fairly accurate, has a few minor downfalls, so like I said, second and third place could probably swap back and forth depending on what kind of a documentation you laid on the table with them. Now my fourth place horse here was a difficult one to pick a breed for, and I chose to go with a Noriker because of his spotted color. If your show has a class of crossbreeds, he might suit that a little better, because Norikers are generally a little shorter horses with a little narrower barrel. He doesn't suit his breed as well. The number one thing that suits him is that color. So again, he's accurate, he's conformationally nice, he's got the right color, he just doesn't look like that breed. And so that's why he's a pretty solid fourth place horse. If I had another class to put him in, I probably would have, or done a little bit more research and documented this particular style of that breed, because he's just not the cute little short-legged, narrow Norikers that is generally found in that breed. So he's a pretty solid fourth place horse. So overall, it was a pretty good class, fairly competitive, a nice first place, nice competitive second and third place. So this is kind of what a judge is thinking when they're looking at a class of all pretty much identical, very solid, very good horses on the table. These are the kind of things that will make or break your entry. So make sure you do your research, put your documentation down, and that can definitely improve the placings of your horse in the show. That wraps it up this week. Thank you very much. Leave me any ideas or comments below, and next week we'll judge them on collectability and see how that shakes out. Thank you.